Everywhere you turn these days, whether it's in the supermarket, on TV or in social media, we're bombarded with messages about what's healthy and how to lose weight.
That's because worldwide there's an obesity epidemic.
In Australia, 2/3 of people are overweight and nearly 1/3 are obese.
It's a growing problem, but there are great examples of how individuals and communities are tackling it.
From changing the way people think about preparing meals to making exercise more accessible and enjoyable.
And in some cases, entire communities are getting behind it. First, I want to show you how one woman with a food truck is on a mission to help communities understand what they're eating.
So my name's Emma and I work for the Child Health Association for their Family Food Patch programme. And this is a well-fed Tasmania food truck that's a community mobile kitchen. We can take them into community centres, do pop-up events like this one in Nubeena, and take the food samples to the people and show them how it's made, pass on the recipes, get them to try and taste new things and see that it's okay to use frozen stuff, it's okay to use tin stuff. Would you like to just chop up some veggie sticks for me?
So Emma, this is made out of peas, but they're frozen. Why did you choose to use frozen pea?
This is another recipe that we came up with for people that can be living in food deserts, so they don't have access to really great fresh fruits and vegetables.
Hi everyone! Does anyone want a zucchini and sweet corn fritter?
We even have evidence from overseas that apartments are being built without kitchens. People are just relying on takeaway food and they're generally unhealthy options. So anything that can be done to improve people's understanding of the sources of food and healthy food production is really, really important.
The principle of the Food Patch programme is really about peer education.
So the struggle in some communities, I found that the choice isn't as good as what you'd expect at a supermarket. So they charge phenomenal prices because they know that you can't get to a big supermarket. So it's cheaper just to do fish and chips sometimes for kids.
It's really about changing that mindset that it is really expensive to eat healthily. It's actually really not, but it's about trying new things.
I changed my kids' lunch boxes. I put a lot more fresh fruit and vegetables in there. So whole baby cucumbers, tomatoes, cheese. I took out the chips and biscuits.
It's such an amazing spread for a morning tea. I'm really impressed that you've used a Family Food Patch recipe.
Even our own work has shown that when people understand more about sources of healthy foods and how to prepare them, we can actually save money as well as improve our health.
We are eating a lot more fresh fruit and vegetables and trying new recipes.
That program is clearly making a difference in broadening people's healthy food options, but it's still so hard to know what the right choice to make is.
Like when the office lolly jar gets filled with chocolate, how do you say no? It's just so tempting.
That's because we're living in what is called an obesogenic society.
So you're saying society helps to make people obese?
Exactly. But when people discover that obesity is a community problem, not an individual problem, that's when real change can happen.
That's really interesting because the people I met the other day who were trying to get more active say they couldn't have done it without supportive communities behind them.
Cross, head, cross, knees.
People of all ages, all backgrounds and all abilities take part in this Keep Fit class on the outskirts of Hobart.
Keep everything moving because as you get older, if you don't do it, you lose it.
All right, Susan, so what we're going to do here is some step-ups.
Just under 3 years ago, I started my weight loss journey. So I always started at over 230 kilos. So I've lost about 140 kilos in that time. I've got a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old, and I couldn't even get on the floor with my 5-year-old or play with him at all. And not only that, it was the mental side as well. They were getting teased about their mum and stuff like that. So it was really, really hard for them, and my partner was doing everything. My legs had started to give out, so I couldn't stand any longer than 5 minutes unless I was in pain and crying. So I had to learn how to use my legs again, really. So it was just the first couple of months was walking to the letterbox, and then we gradually went around the block, and then we went up the street, and then just so on and so on with the walking. It's changed my life dramatically. I mean, to say if I hadn't done something, then I wouldn't be here to tell this story. My health was really bad.
Everyone here they just support you. They just push me to do my best here and just tell me to keep thinking about my goal.
A few months ago, Louis Meir tried to join the Defence Force but failed the fitness test. You've been coming here for 5 or 6 months. How much weight would you have lost in that time?
Roughly 20, 25 kilos.
So how much did you weigh beforehand?
About 135.
Has Defence given you an ideal goal weight that you need to aim for?
They've given me a target BMI, which I'm almost at. So once I hit that, I'll reapply and try again.
It's really interesting that we're kind of in the middle of the class now and everyone's working to their own pace, meaning everyone's getting their own amount of exercise and enjoyment out of it. What's really noticeable is everyone's smiling and seemingly having a good time. Stacey, what do you think are the keys to actually trying to tackle obesity?
I think that it's small steps and small changes and creating habits that people can sustain on a long-term basis. Quite often people start doing something new and they go all in trying to change far too many things and then fall in a heap and think that things don't work. But if people just pick one thing to change at a time, and as Susan's a great example, she picked I'm going to walk to the letterbox and back, and then it was I'm going to walk around the block and back, and then it was a little bit further. So rather than trying to come into a class and do something like this, which she would have failed at and then probably felt terrible, she picked small things and then built it up that way.
Women's Sport and Recreation in Tasmania runs a program called Get Active. It allows a group of women to sample a range of activities over 8 weeks.
Everything's laid out for you and each week something different, and you can work out sort of what you like and haven't looked back. Love it.
We have at least 50% of people that have come from no or very low activity levels continuing on that health and fitness journey.
I'm very proud, from where I've come, and it's good. I'm very proud.
What would you say to other people that might be struggling with obesity?
Anyone can do it. If I can do it, come from that amount, then anyone can do it.
So baby steps can be really effective towards lifestyle change.
Well, I found a town in southwest Victoria that's taken that to the next level. It's come up with 400 different activities to overcome the obstacles to a healthy lifestyle, and it's working. In the first 2 years, childhood obesity has dropped by 4%.
Okay guys, have a nice day.
See you, Dad.
Love ya. See you guys.
Bye.
Drop off at Hamilton North Primary School starts 800 metres from the front gate.
It's another community way that we can get the kids off the couch, out of the cars, walking to school, get a bit of activity in the morning and those sorts of things.
Before the school drop-off zone was established, his children never used to walk to school. Now they prefer to get out of the car and walk.
I like when we can walk with friends.
I do it just, because it's good exercise. You get to hang with your friends and you can talk about what's happening for the day.
As well as the social benefits, the children say they are now sleeping better. And they also do sport outside of school.
Sometimes teachers out here, and plus there's other people that you can walk with as well.
Teachers notice that when the children walk to school, they are alert and ready to learn.
Their focus is a lot better. We find that often we take brain breaks anyway with the kids, so we get them outside moving for 5 or 10 minutes so that they can just sit and refocus again.
We really believe that this isn't an individual responsibility, it's a community responsibility. In our community, it's a lot easier to make an unhealthy choice than a healthy choice, and so what we're trying to do here is actually change that around.
At the local hospital canteen, vegetables have replaced fish and chips.
What we found was a huge increase in sales for the first 3 months of around 30%.
Sugary drinks are banned. But swapping to a healthy menu hasn't been easy.
The big challenge for us, in particular going totally green, was the lack of convenience products through manufacturers and so on that meet the green guidelines. So typically we make a lot of our food in-house now.
Well, we did a study in northern Victoria, and one of the questions we asked was, if overnight the whole population shifted from an unhealthy diet to a healthy diet, how long would it take before the food ran out? And the food would run out in that community before about lunchtime the next day.
From his office in Geelong, Professor Steve Allender is trying to help local communities solve a global problem. He's using software that allows towns to come up with their own solutions to obesity. Besides Hamilton, he's helping communities in Europe, New Zealand and Russia.
The critical thing, the magic thing, the dose, the thing on the spoon that's created the change for those communities is in fact engagement with those communities in developing their own solutions.
But small communities like Hamilton can't change everything that leads to obesity.
For example, marketing to children in particular around junk food is a huge issue that needs to be addressed.
Professor Steve Allender says it's up to the global community to find solutions.
They happen from everywhere at world trade level, the way that we subsidise unhealthy foods, whether they be corn fructose in Northern America or other products around the world, the restrictions or lack thereof in our marketing worldwide.
It's easy to feel helpless when you think of obesity as a worldwide problem.
But as we've found, it is possible for individuals to help themselves and their communities live healthier lives.